Relatively straightforward issue, that, because we have £6 trillion of long-term capital in the UK. A huge proportion of that is invested in cash and gilts. Just as an illustration, we've got 300 billion in cash ISAs in the UK, and that is non-growth capital. So in that mix of 6 trillion, a huge amount of it is non-growth capital because of regulation and policy over the last 25 years. And we de-equitized the UK, which you've read a lot about. Pension funds had 52%, now they have 3 or 4% of equity in their portfolio. Very different from America. So we've got all the money, we just need to reallocate it. And that's the job of the capital markets, working in partnership with the government and businesses to really drive economic growth in the UK, because we haven't had any for 15 years now.
So I would say that that's risk on. That just creates a riskier environment.
No, it's a risk-appropriate environment. And this, the whole theory of risk is actually, everything's based on one-year variance. And one-year variance, when we're talking about a 10, 20, 34-year environment, doesn't matter at all. It's really about where's the North Star, where do you want to get to? We want to deliver 3% growth. We're going to have to spend another £100 billion per annum. And that's just to catch up with the G7 partners. We have 17 or 18% of our GDP is represented by investment. Typically in the G7, it's 20 to 25%. So we're nearly always bottom of the league table. I'll give you a great parallel here. In Atlanta in 1986, the UK won 1 gold medal. We came 36th in the medal table. Shocking.
South Africa probably didn't do as well either. Fair enough.
But we then put national lottery money behind it and invested in our athletes. We then was, a few years later, we were second, third, and second in the medals table, just behind that very powerful nation called America. We got 27, 29 gold medals, 65 medals in total. Because we invested for growth, we've got 20 years of catch-up. We've underinvested in housing, in water, in energy, in VC, but we've got the money.
So it's that race to gold, ultimately, then, that you're pointing towards here. And the Labour government has said, well, one, we've got problems because, unfortunately, Conservatives have left us with all this trouble thus far, but we are looking to build houses. We're looking to build a significant set of houses for the next couple of years. Is that beginning to tick the needle? Is that what you're looking for? Is there more?
There's more to come, I think, on all of this sort of stuff. We led the regeneration in my previous job as CEO of Legal & General across the UK. And when I used to go and visit a town, Manchester or Birmingham or whatever, we'd rock up and say, we're going to build several thousand houses, we're going to build business parks, we're going to invest in renewable energies and whatever. And billions and billions. We invested 30 to 40 billion alone, just my ex-firm. And nobody ever said no. Nobody said, we don't want this investment. We really need this investment, because there's been so much underinvestment in the UK.
So why is it not coming? What's happening? I mean, even if you make note of how maybe tax breaks should be used as well, why is that not being seen as a solution? What is happening?
Well, I think it is. We've always had a housing target of 300,000. The last time we achieved it was 1969, when I was a child.
But is that investment-based, or is
investment-based? Investment-based, but planning-based as well. Planning, policy and regulation. We're actually seeing, certainly in the financial services, a change of attitude from our regulators. We've had an amazing time with the regulators and government in changing some of the listing rules in the UK, and recognising we've got an amazing capital market here. But we're falling way behind the Americans, and that's the problem.